Hi, and welcome to In the Real, a podcast for women by women, where we'll be talking about the hard, funny, and random things of life in any walk of life. So come have a seat at the table as we get in the real. Hey guys, welcome to In the Real. I am Dina. This is Marsha.
Hey.
This is Heather.
Sup?
Sup.
Sup?
I like it. It's good. It's good. How is y'all's week? How's your week going? Either one of you. I don't care.
had a great time today. I was at a birthday party and a flag football game.
Woo!
It was freezing.
It is cold.
It's very cold.
It is cold in the Midwest right now, guys.
But a little 5-year-old, he's obviously a future running back.
Oh.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. He did this nice little whoop arc. Like he got the ball handed to him. He started to run backwards. His brother, my brother, told him to turn around and run. He ran out. It was this beautiful arc and all the way for a touchdown with all the other 4- and 5-year-olds falling down behind him. It was great.
That's fun.
So obviously, he's a genius. He'll be on the Chiefs someday. So.
I love that.
Okay.
And then he's going to help support Aunt Heather.
Yay.
You know it. Because as he gets better, I'm going to practice throwing and teach him how to tackle.
There you go.
Yes.
His dad. I taught his dad how to tackle.
Shut
too.
up.
Oh, yeah. My brothers.
Yeah.
That was me.
Not your dad, but you?
Me. My dad was a pastor at the time. He worked a lot. I taught them how to tackle. They weren't big kids, so I taught them go for the knees. Always go for the knees.
In the defense of your dad and y'all, you are a tiny family. Y'all are a little tiny.
Yeah.
That was sensitive. She's scratching her head like, stop.
I am actually the tallest person in my family for a number of years.
Oh, man.
In your household.
And then the boys grew.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So.
Well, yay for the boys growing.
Yes, that would
us
be
girls
tragic.
are usually a little on the shorter, but your dad he's, tell you what, he is vertically not as tall as some, but your dad is like 9 feet tall. He's like legit.
Oh, yeah.
Like he shows up in a room and he shows up.
Yeah.
Like you got a good dad. I appreciate your dad.
He loves to talk to people.
He has no fear of talking to
Just
anybody.
wanders on up to people at church.
He's phenomenal.
Middle of the service. Doesn't matter. Just starts talking to him. People coming in looking a little haggard, a little scary. Just talk to him.
He's precious.
There you go.
He's absolutely precious. I do. I love your dad. What about you, Marsha? What was
I had
your
a good week.
Yeah?
I had a really good week. What did I do? I mean, outside of school, my life is always, of course, filled with kids and, family, which is good. That's just my life, and I enjoy it. It just gets better.
Is Mama Chris?
She's fine. She had a surgery. Good. She got her cast put on.
Yay.
So she's happy about that. She's happy that she can finally drive.
Oh,
wait.
Delightful.
Wait.
Yes, I know.
She's driving with a cast on?
She told me she was going to do.
Oh.
She said, I don't drive with my left foot. And then since when have you driven with both of your feet? I don't need my left foot. I just need my right foot.
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong unless she's doing a stick.
And at that point, I was done.
You were
with
done
the
having a conversation?
I was
Mama
done.
has
I'm like,
spoken.
okay, you know what?
All right.
Have at it, lady.
Sometimes you just got to let your parents go off and be adults.
Be grown.
Yep.
Okay, you want to be grown, young lady? Go ahead.
Good. All right.
I mean, in her defense, she's grown. I'm not going to throw out your age there, Mama Chris, because listen,
She
you
would come
look
for you.
She
will.
would come.
She has a
in her
taser.
car.
In her car with her taser.
With her cast.
She'll tase you.
She
Yeah,
tastes
but
me.
no,
She
doing
is
good.
45 and holding.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna 25. Let's go 25 because
Okay,
that
we'll
way
go.
because I just almost heard her say, Dina, that's too old.
I almost heard the
probably
clack,
did.
clack, clack of the taser.
Yeah.
What would
I
you
was
say?
scared of the teeth.
Clack,
No, you're right. You're right. Mama Chris, you look good. You look good, girl.
But yeah, she's doing good.
Good.
She's doing really. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she's back on the mend.
Good.
So yeah, feeling good and just living life.
And
So
we'll get her in here and talking one day with
That'd be
Heather's
fun.
mama.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. Be a trip.
That is going to be that's going to be a situation. That's all I got to say about that.
So do we get to just sit off to the side and laugh at him? Or?
Ooh, I don't know if I want to be in the room.
Oh, I totally want to be in the room.
If I'm in the room, it just might feed her.
Oh, well.
Even more
so.
You got to watch out. My mama's feisty, too.
Oh, man.
See, that's
She's
why I
a
get
little bit
excited.
on the, she's got a, we just give her a microphone and you watch her perform.
Watch her go.
She loves microphones just like I do. She just, give me the mic. Watch me do things.
my goodness.
I love you, Mom.
Well, we shall see. That's going to be a great podcast.
And see, my mom, she lives in Texas.
No.
You
we'll
have to meld her
like
mic.
when she comes to visit.
She's been talking about coming.
They could sit in our seats and we'll just sit over near the sound guys area.
Yes.
Not bothering him, like over in that corner, and just watch them interact.
My mom would be giving everybody words, wouldn't she? This is Jesus. What we're going to say right now is
she'd
God
be doing
is
that to us, and we'd be on the floor over there near the sound guy.
You were right.
She hit me up the other day, and I was getting ready to clean the bathroom. I was like, I have a toilet brush in my hand. I can't.
So funny.
I don't think I can handle this right now.
Oh man,
it was a good word.
It was.
Oh, wow.
It was a good
I have to go
word.
clean.
It is truth. It is truth.
Yep.
So what we are actually going to be talking about today is we're about to celebrate Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather coming in and being amazingly Heather, telling us that on her drive over, having conversations with the Almighty on what do we talk about, what do we say, and this is actually what he popped into your beautiful brain.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out how to like springboard you, but I don't. I'm not so much. I can do much more than that, except that your dad was a vet. You are a vet, and we honor you.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was a vet.
Mm-hmm.
Was he still a vet?
No,
Not a vet. So
he should be an honorary vet.
He is honorary.
But your son is.
But your
My
son
is a vet.
Trey.
My dad is a
we
vet.
honor and we honor Papa. So we honor all of our veterans for giving parts of your life away for the freedom of our country. And we now officially give you the floor, my friend. So what do you want to talk about?
So I have to try to remember what Jesus and I spoke about in the car. First off, Veterans Day is super awkward to a lot of veterans.
Okay.
Super awkward. Okay. And I didn't think until recently that it's really, 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 really awkward if you're a female.
Mm.
And I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
But it just seems to be more so than even for guys. I don't know.
Mm.
So when is the last time you thanked the secretary at your school for their service?
Actually,
That was it, Secretary's Day. Did you do it?
I didn't say Secretary's Day. No, but I try to do my best when I go into a school,
Okay.
when I substitute at a school. See, this is
See?
probably, I messed you up, didn't I?
You did, Tina. Threw me off. I'm done. I
She's
quit.
the exception.
I forgot. I should have
you
asked
don't
Marsha.
have-
Marsha, the secretary at your school.
I mean, the school that you run.
That
I'm
you
about to
run.
say, well,
You are
considering
kind of the
I'm the
principal
secretary.
and the secretary.
Did you thank you?
Did you
Considering.
thank you for your service?
Snoop Dogg, I want to thank me.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Right. See, that would work. But it's just super awkward to me because most of the time in the military, I just did a regular job.
Yeah.
I was not Delta Recon or Delta Force or Marine Recons or do you know how many hundreds of hours I stood in front of a plane or walked wingtip to wingtip and people are like, thank you for your service. And I'm like, do you know what I did? I used to walk in that plane. I hope you crash into the ocean. I hate you. I hope everybody escapes, but I hope we never see you again. And they're like, we want to honor you. And it's just like,
And our sound guy's laughing.
I know
really
he's
hard
dying
right now.
because he knows.
He was
Oh,
the
man.
amazing guy that would work on the plane that you were
Right.
guarding.
But it's just so funny because I'm like, okay, I didn't land it in Saigon under fire, all right? I just stood in front of it hoping someone would kidnap the airplane. Which, by the way, didn't happen to me, but I fell asleep behind the airplane once
Oh.
and woke up and it was gone.
Oh, no.
Shut
I was
up.
like, oh, they did steal it. It had just moved down to get washed because,
Oh, my
it was
goodness.
dirty, I guess. But anyways,
Shoot.
so it's really awkward. It's really,
Yeah.
I mean, and then there's the other part, where you do some shady stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you really shouldn't thank me for this.
Yeah, me too.
If you are thanking me for things that you will see in your nightmares, Like,
Wow.
it's just awkward. I'm like, you do realize that you just thanked me
Yeah.
for beating people?
I was going to say that's
You're welcome. Anytime you would like me to do that again, just point them out, give me some brass knuckles and a baseball bat, and I'll do it. But I think now I'll get arrested. So
Yeah, it's not going to work out well.
So it's just awkward.
Yeah. And
I
you've
mean,
got your book that
I do have a book that talks about all that. Yep.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Yep. But it's an awkward. I get what people are trying to do now.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, though, some veterans, they can be real snooty.
Yeah.
They can be real snooty about things. And if you say the wrong holiday, they get real upset.
Yeah.
But I get now, I used to be one of those people, but I get now what most people are just trying to do is to simply say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like, I really don't feel like I deserve thanks for showing up to work every day. Like, we don't do that for the guy in Target who runs the cash register. Like, I don't, or for a VP of the company. It doesn't matter who they are. Like, we don't just thank them for showing up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, I understand, but also sometimes it just sounds like rote. Like, people walk by and they just wearing a hat or wearing a shirt. The reserves. Like, okay, that doesn't sound genuine at all.
Yeah.
So just say nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just say nothing to me.
Or
Yeah.
sup.
Sup.
Sup. Yeah.
Or what I find always, the sound man may understand this, what really messes me up is where you get this guy from like Nam or World War II, and they got the hat on, they got the old tattoos, and they come on over and they're like, I want to thank you for your service. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't do that. I should just take your shoes off and wash your feet.
Aww.
Like, you're just like, I almost always go, because it's like I got speech deprived, which is impressive for me.
That is impressive.
But I've had people do that, and I'm like, and they're like already walking off, and I'm like, you too, like way too late.
Yeah.
But it's like you should not be thanking me either.
You're kind of almost in the presence of greatness. Like it's honorable.
First of all, if it's a World War II person, like kudos, because those people are not young anymore. But then Vietnam, they got a terrible
rap. Yeah.
Coming home, so they should be thanked anyways every day.
I have an uncle that was Vietnam. Yeah.
Oh,
they should just be thanked all the time.
Yeah.
But to you guys, thank you, Heather. So thank you to you guys for even just making the decision to step in and be willing to protect. So, and that's the thank you. It's just you put yourself, and not to dig into your past, but there's a lot that comes with being a veteran, whether you were, fought a war or not. There's a lot that comes with that, and a lot that comes after that you have to work through and you have to deal with over the years. I'm a teacher, and we deal with our things, but nothing nearly as rough, I would think, as being a veteran. Even if my son, he didn't fight a war, but there was a lot that you actually went into a whole different system.
Yeah.
Your mindset had to be reversed.
Yeah.
You had to go through so much. There was a lot of training, a lot of things that were done to your body to prepare you for protection of people. And it's like, woo, yeah, woo. And if you have not read Don't Let the Monsters Out.
Come on, Marsha.
Listen, thank you, Heather.
Seriously.
Thanks.
And that's just where it sticks.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you went through and what you had to endure. I mean,
truly.
My goodness.
Truly.
I thought I have been through some stuff, but no. I read Don't Let the Monsters Out, and I'm like, I ain't dealt with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heather.
Because I know that a lot of, like, even our other veteran that's in the room, right? There's those things where I know that a lot of, like what you're saying, he himself has said, like, but I didn't go to war. I didn't do these things. I didn't go into this space, right? You did. And there's almost this feeling of, well, I'm less than, or I didn't do, or I don't deserve the same accolades. I don't deserve the same respect. But and forgive me if I'm wrong in this, but, or you guys correct me if I'm wrong in this. There's a part of me, because I do have military in my family. I've got brothers, I've got uncles, different people in my life that have gone. When you sign that dotted line, you guys don't really have, I mean, you can say, I'd like to sign up for this, but ultimately, you now become the property of the government.
That's what they say.
And they can put you wherever they so choose in that moment.
And they do.
And they do.
And they do.
And they do. And some of you guys have seen things that are nightmares.
Yeah.
Some of you guys have seen I'll say for our sound guy, Luke used to be the one that would carry the bodies off of the planes from where you were, right? And it's like, it's all heavy. It's you're literally dealing with people, and dealing with the monsters that live outside and inside, right? And it's, like Marcia said, we want to honor you guys to say thank you, because you didn't know what you were signing up for. Some people did. Some people said, I'm going to go hurt somebody. Right.
That's it. Yeah.
And then others are like, I want to go sign up and do stuff. But my name it keeps getting knocked off the list. It doesn't matter. The fact is that you are always in this constant space of the stuff can hit the fan.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah. I get that. And I get that most people are very sincere. I don't want to knock it. I just,
yeah.
It's just, I do understand that. I think as I've matured, I almost said aged, aged like fine wine. I've come to realize like a lot of that was hard for me because some of the stuff was just bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times when somebody says they're looking for a veteran, I don't feel like that person. I see a veteran and I think of a dude. I was in the military, and I still think of a veteran as a guy.
Wow.
It just because there weren't a lot of females, but also as I have matured again, I still think of a veteran as somebody older than me. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm 19. I can go take on the world. Like,
right.
And I'm like, oh gosh, it's me. I am the old person in the room now. Like, and so it's kind of allowed me to be a little bit more graceful with that.
Yeah.
Because I do know there are some people that I think it's because of things that they've done or that they didn't do. They didn't get to do, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
They hate Veterans Day as veterans.
Yeah.
And I think that because even though it's two separate holidays, but you don't get to have Veterans Day without having Memorial Day.
Correct.
And for a lot of people, and for me, for a long time, I couldn't celebrate a holiday about me.
Yeah.
Not me, but
Right.
about those of us that made it back without remembering those that didn't.
Yeah.
Even though they're separated, it was just a way that knocked me off my feet. And so I couldn't be like, thank you. You're gonna thank me for what? For people for not dying?
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome.
Can you
what do you say? Yeah.
tell us the difference between those two things? Because we do not want anybody to be blown up.
This is a big deal. This is a really weird and big deal. So Memorial Day is for anybody in the military that's died in combat, died in action, however you want to put it. So to thank a veteran on Memorial Day or to say Happy Memorial Day is it's not.
Yeah.
I understand for most people it's really ignorance. They just don't know any better.
Yeah.
And then you have like little kids. Like I've had little kids come up to me and go, Miss Heather, Happy Memorial Day, and I'm like, but they don't know any better. 5.
Right.
Like they don't know any better, so I get it.
Right.
But there is a difference. Memorial Day is dedicated to those who died in combat, those serving our country. Veterans Day is for those of us that are still alive and not in the military anymore. Mm-hmm. Then there's Armed Forces Day, which is for those that are in the military. And if I'm not mistaken, is that right before Memorial Day? Is it right before Veterans Day? I can't remember. Neither can the sound guy. You know what we did? He's going to Google it. You know what we used to do for Armed Forces Day in the Air Force? Nothing. Oh, wow. It was Friday. it was nothing. You just went to work. Like I didn't even get a celebratory meal. There was nothing. But I didn't even know it existed until I got out.
Wow.
So, but yeah.
Gotcha.
And there is the difference between the two. One is for not alive. One is for now out. And yeah. The third Saturday of May. Right. So see, right before. So celebrate the military in all its power and might, and then on the Monday after that, you celebrate
those that have lost
those that
their
died.
lives.
That's delightful.
Wow. Well,
but
thank you for educating us on that.
You're
genuinely.
I know.
You're
I'm like big time all on
it's
Facebook. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Memorial Day. And like you said, I know we us civilians don't necessarily
mean bad at all.
Yeah, that we're doing something that could probably bring up old thoughts.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you educating on that. So what do you suggest, like on those days, just to kind of help you guys get through those holidays?
I mean, on Memorial Day, just check in with people that you know, especially if you know they've struggled already.
Yeah.
And just check in. Sometimes people want to be left alone, and sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it changes for me from year to year,
sure,
hour to hour, maybe. Mm-hmm. I might decide to do, like, we usually do a family dinner anyways, so I might decide to do that and nothing else for the whole weekend, or I might decide to be all crazy and go out and do everybody's barbecue, whatever. And then for Veterans Day, again, to check in with the person that you know, if you know them. But if you have the time with someone, I mean, I get that most people say, like, well, Happy Veterans Day, it's in passing, like you just wear a hat or something.
Sure.
But like, if you have the time, ask them about their service. I mean, don't necessarily want to sit down and have a 4.5 hour conversation.
Right.
But just, hey, were you in Branch? What'd you do? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you hate it? Did you want to, snap and hit somebody with a wrench after a while? See, I saw that. We would have not been good friends if we were both in the military in the same areas at the same time. Just
I don't
saying.
know. I think you guys would have caused a whole lot of havoc together.
Well, the problem is maintainers.
You would have been throwing.
Maintainers and cops don't generally get along very well.
Wow, which is crazy. Like, here's my husband, my best friend.
It's because they think the plane is theirs. And you know what? To be honest with you, I kind of let them think that. Like, you care about your plane more than I do. So if you see somebody not around you, you chase them with a wrench, beat them down. Let me just come and pick up the body. I don't want to do anything. So, but then we would pull exercises and somebody would break anyways. And then the maintainers would know that and they would chase a cop all the way up the flight line with these wrenches. So that was really fun to do to the new guys.
You're about to he's about to talk.
Yeah,
I know he's about to talk.
He's ready.
He's he's the sound guy. He can talk whenever he wants. I just think it's good. We would.
Uh-oh.
And we were the two squadrons that were dumped on the most.
Right.
We were the
Right.
Oh, man.
Well, that's true. Who's got the day off? Not us. It's a family fun day. Not for the maintainers, but the pilots are off. So you would see these guys coming out, and they would look like halfway ready for murder, and then the cops would be out there smoking on the flight line. A maintainer would be like, "You can't smoke out here." The police officer would say the most delightful words, and then there would be a yelling, and then somebody be calling a supervisor. So, yeah. But you know what? Thank you for your service.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you. Oh, goodness.
I'm like, so like 30% of my time in the military was probably like, ooh, crazy war stuff. The other 70%, I have literally sat outside of a nuke site in North Dakota in the freezing blizzard because the seismic sensors keep going off. It's so cold you have to run the engines of the truck all the time. You have to keep revving them. And
wow.
That's my service for the day. And I was like, dear Jesus, take me home. Like, I hate this place. What's wrong? So.
Wow.
But it's a service.
There you go.
So, I have a question. From
the sound man?
From our, well, yeah. I do. Do I have I do. My thoughts? I would like to know this. Walking through the VA, maybe talking about that a little bit.
Walking through the VA?
Yeah, just like...
Well, how sick am I? Sorry.
So maybe... Oh. Me talking about it. You want me to talk about it? Okay.
It got dark.
It did get dark. I felt that. I know with me... Okay, I do appreciate that, babe. So I've been married to Luke for almost 12 years, right?
Okay.
Right?
Wow. You guys should have seen the eye contact on that one.
And I want to say, was it one of the first, were we married yet? I don't think we were married yet, or maybe we were just freshly married. And I had actually walked into the VA with him. I had gone into the hospital with him. And he was just needing to get some sort of, going through some stuff, or just, you guys have the medical things and the stuff and whatnot. And I remember a gentleman walking, and he was in full kind of garb, wasn't he, babe? And he was walking up and down the hallway in cadence, and just walking. And I remember turning and looking at him, and the whole time I'm thinking, don't make any eye contact, because when we get nervous or when we get into unfamiliar territory, you're like, don't make any eye contact. Just don't look at anybody, because you don't. If I engage with you, I don't know. What are we going to do? Right. And I literally, the Holy Spirit stopped me and said, you need to tell him thank you for his service. And I stopped and I looked at him and I said, thank you for your service. He just stops and does a little, almost clicked his feet kind of situation, and then just kept doing it again. And I think one of the revelations that I had from the civilian point of view, and then also being married to my veteran and then being raised in a veteran family, that acknowledgement, just, I want to make sure that you see that I see you. Like when y'all hang with me a lot, and you see how like even last night, I see Kiki on the other side, and I'm like, I want to make sure that you know that I saw you. I'm so glad to see you. Even if you're trying to hide, like you're saying with some of the veterans, like I don't want anybody to acknowledge me. I don't want anybody to even see me. I'm still trying to work out maybe some of this madness, some of the stuff that I've had to deal with myself. But there's those moments where I'm like, if we as humanity, we as people would love people enough, even in the midst of their mess or in the midst of their madness, and just reach out and, hey, that's almost my way of looking at people and saying, I don't know what you went through. I don't know if you worked on a plane, if you protected a plane, or if you went and you literally brought down somebody pretty intense in themselves. I don't know what it is, but thank you. I want to acknowledge you because you've been property for so long, or you've been in this mindset of kind of like what you were saying, Marcia, with Trey, like just, the rewiring that you need to be created to be a machine, right? Yeah. Humanity needs to leave. We can't have you feeling. And again, correct us if we are wrong in some of this, right? And then it's almost I think that's what Marcia's asking, like, what can we do in these spaces? What can we do as wives, as friends, as besties, as standing back and looking at you and saying, what can we do in this moment with you? when we see where your eyes go off into a space and walking up to you and just sup.
While holding a baby.
While holding
just
a
here
baby.
to check in.
Just here to
She
check
did
in.
that to me earlier.
Today.
She was like, just checking in. And I was like, what? Did I? Oh, I checked out. Okay, sorry. But that's it. Just check in.
Yeah.
Just check. Not to check out, but to check in.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Because it can get heavy for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reality.
That's very true.
Sometimes it's I've found it's important. Some people have just let me blabber on.
Love that.
About, even when it's the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, they just let it, but not to let it affect a person, to just let it out.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking this for you to pick it up and become your burden. Because, well, no, I don't want to do that at all anyways, but I just got to let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you're right. I mean, the military does do interesting things to make your brain think certain things, like chants, like the marching chants.
Oh man. Oh goodness.
Oh, I just found a guy who does some online the other day to heavy metal.
Oh,
and he starts playing it, and I'm like, this is so good.
No.
This is so good. But there's like one where it's like, what? And I remember chanting. You would march, and you chant. The part of the reason is you march and you chant. You keep your rhythm for your step, so it helps keep everybody in step. And then you stay focused on either not being too hot, not being too cold, not hating your whole life.
Okay.
And so there are ones that were like, what makes the grass grow? Blood, blood, blood. Whose blood? Their blood.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's the nice. That's some of the nicer ones. That's
a nice. Oh wow.
And so like he would just come. Yeah.
There you go.
And so you're like, oh yeah, so we kill people. Gotcha.
Wow.
Yep. Or I had a drill sergeant in drill sergeant in basic, because I joined right after September 11th.
Yeah.
So everything was terrorists for us. The terrorists were coming for us all the time.
Right.
You just didn't care after a while, but you'd have a dorm guard who had to make sure that the person passed inspection before they could come in. You have to check their ID. This one poor girl had probably 2 hours of sleep, and she didn't check the ID right. So the drill instructor comes in, and he's like, I'm a terrorist. You're all dead. So we had to lay down on our faces and pretend to be dead. And then he made her pick 5 people to write letters home to. Their parents. They didn't get mailed, but she had to write letters. The little girl snapped. They just carted her off.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow.
well, that's what you did. I mean,
wow.
And if you didn't know how to do it, like,
wow.
So yeah, retraining your mind. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I still think of that. What makes the grass grow? It's still in my head. Like, I'm like, who's butt there? See? I get all pumped up. I forgot the Yogi Bear one, but Boo Boo shot Yogi Bear something.
Oh no. Oh man.
But that way, by the time you actually get to some area where you may have to do something, it's drilled in your brain.
Yeah.
In more than one way.
And that's just the bottom line of it.
Of course, then what happens is you get all that in your brain, and then they send you off to stare at a plane for 12 hours, and you're like,
this is not what
this
I'm
is
supposed to be
just
doing.
not what.
I want to make the grass grow.
I know. There's not even any grass on the flight line. Like, or you check IDs for 12 hours and salute people and check IDs, and you're like, I was told I was going to be killing people.
Yeah.
It was my contract. Like, I'm going to war. What's going on here? No war. Not for a little while.
Oh goodness.
And then you do go, and it's still kind of boring.
Yeah. Well. Goodness.
There's a lot of paperwork. I did not see that in any military movies. That's one thing that military movies drive me crazy. Uniforms, outfits. I'm like, you would not wear. Who put that beret on your head? Did you wash it with like? What's wrong with you? And then they have it like a chef's hat. And then they're saluting, and I'm like, I don't know what you just did there, but that looks like some kind of seizure.
Oh god.
And then my favorite one is in Armageddon. They have a guy in Houston in NASA on the line who's getting ready to like pull the death nuke bomb, and it's the Air Force senior airman. There's no way that nobody under a 2-star general would be doing that. Like, this guy is a senior. I was like, that is not.
This is fake.
Is not
this
real.
is so fake. I was watching. This is
real.
a lie to me. Thank you for your service, though.
Man.
You know, I was. And then I'm like, they never tell you about the paperwork. You know, you go out, you shoot some detainees, and then they're like, oh, we need you to do paperwork on each round.
Oh, goodness.
I just started
Wow.
hiding bullets and keeping them for myself and shooting them and not, like, so that way I didn't have to do paperwork. It's been 15 years. I'm pretty sure I won't get arrested for that now. But
Oh, man.
anyways,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? In the TV shows, there's no paperwork in the jungles of Vietnam. What is happening here?
Mm.
Truly.
Because I wasn't there. I was in the desert of Iraq.
It's true. It's true.
But anyways, sorry. Just trying to make a serious.
No, yeah.
We like it. We like it.
But that's like, I think that for a lot of veterans, Veterans Day seems like it should be a very serious thing. And it is.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Memorial Day is much, much more serious. Like, there's really no
Mm-hmm.
over-exuberant laughter. But like, sometimes veterans got some funny stories.
Yes.
I don't care what you did, what branch you were in. Everybody went through basic training.
Mm-hmm.
I will not tell you about the lockbox right now, but everybody went through basic training. Everybody had that stupid idiot, or was the stupid idiot, who, you know, got dessert in the chow line. Like, there is 1,000 amazing stories
Yeah.
instead of just death, chaos, and dismemberment, which also is sometimes a little funny.
Oh, goodness.
But again, it's the what makes the grass grow.
There you go.
I was just trying to grow the grass.
He's just trying to make.
But like, you know, like when the first time you got bombed and it was comical, not awful.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
Because there's several things in your book. One in particular that I think of, and I don't quote me on your chapters and all of your fun
Page
things.
and paragraph, please.
Listen, girl. You already know them. I'm on page blah 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 blah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yes.
Anyways.
But it's one of those where I know that you basically had said, if I didn't laugh or if I didn't find something funny, like I'm literally in the middle of a riot and I start laughing uncontrollably and it's almost like there's some spaces and part of me is like, how do we even attribute this some sort to like God? But I want to say, and this is where I'll go, and again, you guys absolutely tell me different if you see, but I think that God just kind of creates certain things inside of us. Like I don't believe that the breaking of you guys is God.
No.
But I do believe that there are some traumatic things. I mean, we even as moms and seeing our kids broken and things happen, there's sometimes you have to he almost kind of takes you out of a space and says, this is what's happening right now, but I'm going to maybe put you hysterically funny or punch drunk because otherwise you will lose your mind, like actually lose your mind in this space, you know? And I wonder if as a veteran, as your healing process is happening, okay, because you came back broken in some places, right? And you have told our listeners over some time, the couple of times, you know, just this is where I was, this is what happened to me. But I also see, and one of the things, I don't know, I'm going to compliment you, and it's going to be the weirdest compliment. You ready?
I'm ready.
Sometimes some of the things that are the most beautiful about you, Heather, is where the enemy tried to break you and God just said, no, I'm just going to use this and make it something more beautiful. You know, like you are, I've said this to you and to Marsha, you're twisted in the best of way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, you know what it is to literally have the enemy take you to the very pit and God to completely like redeem you. And when the enemy comes in, or when you think of those past stories or those things where the enemy literally tried to kill you, and it's almost like this laughter that rises up inside you that says, you tried, but God.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a partial human moment, you have to have an emotional. You do. You have to. There's too many emotions. They've got to come out. Yeah. As parents, you've seen it. I'm going to cry, or I'm just going to laugh like a psychopath for a little while, because they just got to get out. Yeah. It's just got to come out. Yeah. Later on, maybe we'll chuckle about it for real, but right now, it's going to have that maniacal laughter, because I can't cry, where in that scenario, it was the middle of a riot.
Right. See, she's laughing.
Yeah.
It was the middle of a riot, and everything was on fire, and our shields were melting. And like, you can't sit there and cry.
Right.
Like,
right.
You just can't, because crying will get you killed, or worse, make you weak. So you laugh because I have to get these emotions out. Plus, it was absolute. It was just hilarious the way this person was yelling. She was yelling. I know exactly which one you're talking about. She was yelling, "My shield is melting! My shield is melting!" Oh, and all I could think of was the Wizard of Oz. And I just started laughing so hard. She wouldn't work with me later on that day. Later on, she was like, "I'm not working." Well, I melted another shield later on that very same day, but it was hilarious because she was like, I explained it to her, and she was like, "Oh, okay. I gotta go find another shield," and she never showed up again. Which sorted out. She
never
week.
saw the movie.
Anyways, but it's just like things are going. Dogs are biting people. There's stuff flying everywhere. Things are on fire, and I was like, "This is the dumbest thing ever. Like, this is how I'm gonna die. This is so funny. Like, because you just can't.
Yeah,
you know. Right. And I mean, I think for every person, it's a different way.
Yeah.
But it's an emotional, and you're right. Like, God was like, okay. Well, you're snapping a little bit here, so we're gonna mask that with some joy, because you're gonna need some, because it's the beginning of a very, very long shift for you.
Yeah.
But we're halfway through, anyways. Yeah. But I think now a lot of the times some of the things that I find funny are because I'm pointing and nobody can see. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yes, Dina.
Yes.
Like you said, these are things where, I should have died, or I should have snapped, or I should have. And now it's just funny to me because it's like, you failed.
Yes.
Like, you failed. Okay, even when I tried to die, I failed.
Yeah.
I just find that funny. Like, because it's a story. It's. I'm going to go way off topic. So it's interesting because I always have a hard time with that scripture, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Because I'm like, everybody just jumps up and down and claps their hands when they hear it. And I'm like, I feel like the joy of the Lord is not just a cute little dance. Yeah. But these are times when I feel like maybe I got a little bit of it. Because otherwise, I would not be here. Yeah. Or I would not be in my right mind.
Yeah. That's so good.
That he was like, I'm going to coach you with a little bit of joy because you're going to break. Yeah. That's and so I need you to break just a little bit, but not all the way. Like, I don't want you to snap. Right. So.
Wow.
Anyways.
That is so good.
I love that.
Yes. I think one of the best things maybe for Veterans Day is to just talk to a veteran. Ask them stupid stories. They got a bunch of those. Like, you don't need to come up and be like, and how many of your friends died? Ooh. Like, nobody. Oh, wow. I have been asked so many times. Not that one. Up. Not that one. Not that one. My favorite is, how many people did you kill?
Oh, well.
I got real creative. Some people go, that's inappropriate. I would be like, well, 3 camels, a dog, 2 babies, and 5 men. No. And they would just look at me, and I was like, whoa, and the women. But they don't count because, doesn't count in that country. Oh, man. I'm like, you're going to ask me a dumb question, you're going to get a dumb answer. Wow. Like, that's just. I did kill a camel once, though. See, that's one of those funny stories.
What?
It's in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book.
How did I miss that?
It was an accident. And he was in Kuwait. He wasn't even a bad camel. He was an allied camel. Yeah. So, yep. That's why I stay away from them in the zoo now. Because, you never know which one's going to come back after me.
Oh, God.
But
I know you. You killed my cousin.
Yeah, I know exactly. See? It was the guy from you are the 6-fingered man. But it was an accident. And so, people have asked. I mean, I've had some of those. Like, so what was the worst day you had over there?
Oh, shoot.
I was like, what?
Why are we going dark?
I come up with these real fun answers for that. Because why would you ask that?
Yeah.
But just ask. You know, what's the dumbest thing you did? Oh, well, let me tell you. Like, you know.
I'm still alive.
I'm still alive. It's obviously not too dumb, but there are some dumb ones. I can't even pick one. Anyways.
Just not knowing. So just being educated on, being educated on it all.
Yeah.
Even for, I know for like my son, he don't like to talk about it much at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
So even down to you saying, just ask him what it was like, or I could ask him what his basic training was like, and it'll just take him to a place. So, I guess it just does depend on the person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I just, he had a lot of stories, of course, when he came back, but I don't think that for me, I would even, unless I just really felt led to bring something up, I really wouldn't ask him about it. I mentioned your book, Heather, to them, and I just asked him if he knew about it. They're like, yeah, I heard about that. And conversation.
I'm flattered, by the way.
I said conversation closed. And I could tell, okay, don't talk about it.
Want to talk about
So,
and there are going to be people who just don't want. I mean, you can't force that. It's not healthy to do that.
Right.
But sometimes it's just nice for them to know that you're aware.
Yeah.
Even if they're not talking about it, that you know that they went there, that they did things, whether there was on foreign land, it was here.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I would rather have been in the desert than doing that job. I don't think I could have done the sound guy's job. I honestly don't see how that would have worked for me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just shoot camels.
Well,
on accident, of course. But like, I mean, and to each person is different.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I don't know why, it seems like a lot of veterans have a lot of regrets with either going too often, not going enough. You went for as long as you did. You were in for as long as you did. It's hard for me right now. A lot of my friends are retiring. And I realize, like, I would have retired last year.
Oh, wow.
If I'd have stayed in. I was like, I would be fully retired with full retirement. With whatever rank that I had, been promoted to, probably lost once, and then re-promoted to again. Like, I was like, it's kind of hard. I'm like, I would have had a lot of different benefits. And so, but that's not the path I took. And it's not necessarily the path that was good for me. I don't think that me staying in 20 years would have been very good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I burned hot and fast early and just couldn't. But, stuff like that. Just, just let them talk when they're ready. And if they're not, that they know you're there.
Yeah.
So
good.
Have discernment. Probably.
Right.
Just have some discernment.
Right.
And if you don't have discernment, then don't say anything.
Right.
Maybe just
if you don't have something nice to say,
don't say anything at all.
Overly inquisitive.
Or just thank you for your service and you move on.
And I won't slap you in the face
anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's those moments where I know, on top of thank you for your service, I know I've said this to Luke. I think I've said this to you, but I will say this again. Not only thank you guys for your service, but we're also sorry. We're sorry for the loss.
I was trying to keep it light. Yeah.
But I think if we would, as a people, as a nation, would be more sensitive to each other in this kind of capacity, whether we've ever served or just where we've grown up or just our backgrounds, just who we are, if we would take the time to just say, I see you, I honor you, and I'm sorry, I think our world would heal a lot faster and a lot quicker in places. So thank you for your service, Heather. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
And to all of our listeners that are veterans, we honor you.
Yeah.
And we say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Even if we have some from Vietnam, welcome home.
Mm-hmm.
All of the things. Become educated, guys. Become educated. Like Marcia keeps saying, just have a greater understanding. Let us have a greater understanding of the people around us. Let us become aware. Because I think some of the reason why we see the chaos and the destruction that we see is because people are just needing to be seen. And they're doing whatever they need to do to be seen.
Yep.
And so I didn't mean to leave that like that. I didn't mean to be heavy.
That's okay.
But we do. We honor you guys today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time in The Real.